Okay, so our group is going to be going over the TSA Staffing Crisis. My name is Juliana, and then Manny is going to go ahead and tell us a bit more about this situation.
Hello, my name is Manuel, and I'll be doing the introduction. This situation began when airports across the United States started facing serious staffing shortages. TSA workers were not getting paid for several weeks, which caused a lot of frustration. Because of that, many workers either stopped coming in or reduced their hours. This created a major gap in staffing at airports, and as a result, travelers experienced long delays, especially at security checkpoints. These delays didn't just affect passengers, but also the airlines and the airport businesses and the overall travel system, which caused a ripple effect across the entire country. Next. What happened? The main reason this happened was a delay in government funding, which meant TSA employees were not receiving any paycheck. Even though some workers continued to show up and do their jobs for free, many others couldn't afford to keep working under those conditions. So they either quit or they just went and worked a couple hours and went home. This led to airports becoming severely understaffed because there were fewer workers available, and security checkpoints slowed down a lot because of that. This caused long lines to form very quickly, increasing wait times and making travel more stressful for passengers.
All right, I'm going to be going over how this is affecting us now in our current situation. TS TSA workers are finally getting paid present day. However, since this whole drama did happen where they weren't getting paid, staffing levels are exceptionally low due to many workers leaving. Due to airports being short-staffed, delays are still continuing at many airports, and the lines are becoming long, when you go through the TSA checkpoints. Hiring new workers do take time, especially with all the whole job level wages going down. So the system recovery is still slow, but it doesn't mean we're not going to be able to go back to how we used to be. Next.
Hi, I'm Jordan. I'm gonna go over impact on travelers. So the security lines are extremely long at many airports due to shortage of TSA workers. Passengers have to wait hours just to get through a screening, and personally, I've experienced this on my recent trip. The delay have caused travelers to miss their flight, disrupting travel plans and forced to rebook and or accommodations. The experience overall is stressful and frustrating, dropping customer satisfaction. Next.
Hello, my name is Javier. And then the impact on businesses overall, it wasn't just an inconvenience to travelers. Businesses across the country and the airlines were affected. Um, and airlines in general, flights being delayed um, cost the carriers millions in rebooking fees and refunds. Also, businesses inside the terminals saw a dramatic drop of customers since passengers weren't um, going into those businesses, whether they were restaurants or just regular shops, since they were um, being delayed in their travels. Tourism also took a hit. Um, Hotels, car rentals, and just local businesses in different areas that depend on travelers all felt the partial shutdown. Um, Overall, uh, nationwide, the ripple effect was felt in all those different sectors. Next, all this started in February 14th, 2026, when the DHS funding ended. It was mainly due to disagreements between Democrats and Republicans uh, and Congress. They couldn't agree on immigration enforcement policies, and unfortunately, TSA got involved in the middle, or they got caught in the middle of the whole disagreement. Um, Nearly 50,000 TSM workers were forced to work to keep showing up and work without a paycheck. Um, Mind you, some of these people they will make on average around $35,000 a year, which a lot of them they couldn't because of that they couldn't afford living. So many started calling out sick and some others just flat out quit. And because of that, that caused a big staffing shortage real quickly. Next.
This issue connects to our chapter number 3. Political factors like government funding issues and budget delay caused the disruption in TSA operations. Workers went unpaid, staffing shortage, and slower airport security process. And then economic factor also had a big impact. Reduced income and lack of financial stability made it difficult for employees to stay in their position, and further weakening the workforce. As for social factors, many workers quit due to stress, burnout, and frustration with working conditions. This reflects how employee morale and social attitude towards work can influence organizational performance. And finally, industry conditions affect airline operation with fewer TSA agent available. Airlines are forced to delay, miss flights, causing unhappy customers. Next.
Hi, my name is Yash, and there are a few key takeaways that we can learn from this. First thing is outside a company, like government decisions can really affect how a business work. Even if the company has no control over it, they still have to deal with these results. Also, having enough workers is super important. When there aren't enough employees, everything slows down, like we saw the airport security and the TSA closed down. Another thing is that the employees need to feel valued. When TSA workers weren't getting paid, many of them just stopped showing up, which made the situation even worse. Overall, this shows that businesses needs to be ready for unexpected problems and has a backup plan. To wrap this up, the TSS staffing crisis affected a lot of people and businesses. Travelers had to deal with long lines and missed flights, and airlines and airport companies has to lost a lot of money. Even though workers are getting paid again, the problem isn't fully fixed yet because it takes time to hire and train new employees. So, this situation really shows how important it is for businesses to understand what's happening around them and be prepared for challenges they can't control. Thank you for hearing us. Any questions?